as AEW look to be putting on their 1-year anniversary show with Double or Nothing. It's once again time for predictions. How are y'all doing? My name is Dominic, of course, from GrappleNation, and it's predictions time for a pay-per-view that, in no fault of their own, I'm not super excited for it. Now look, I love AEW. I will gladly say I'm a mark for AEW, okay? I have that bias. I will say that. I do have the bias of AEW, okay? You can call me a Dave Meltzer wannabe. I'm not. That dude works too hard. I can never do any of that shit. But, here's the thing. I'm not excited for this show. Clearly, the circumstances of the world does lead to a big part of that. You know, they haven't been able to have a bunch of guys on the show because of the world, and everything kind of does feel a bit dampened by the fact that there's no crowd. It sucks. It's not something that I really like. I don't think anybody really likes the situation. It's just the hand that they have been dealt. Speaking of hands people are being dealt, it's Double or Nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we've got a lot of Las Vegas casino-y kind of themed matches going on, so let's get into it. First up on the pre-show, or the buy-in, or whatever you want to call it, it's a tag team match, number 1 contenders match for the tag team championships in AEW. We got Private Party taking on the Best Friends. I think the Best Friends are going to win this. Private Party haven't been on AEW like at all in this entire time, and I think this is going to be a bit of a reward for the Best Friends. They're kind of just seen as comedy, you know, and you know, there should be comedy acts in wrestling. I'm not Jim Cornette, and I think that the comedy trio of Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent have become a very bright spot on Dynamite, and as such, I think they're going to get a bit of a reward for sticking through it and sticking with AEW, and so I think they're going to become the number 1 contenders for the tag team championships. Next up, it's a match that was added, 3 hours ago as of this recording. We've got Dustin Rhodes taking on Shawn Spears. I think Spears is going to win, because this match was just added. They can play up the fact that Dustin Rhodes got his ass kicked by Lance Archer a few weeks ago. Maybe this could be the moment when we find the reveal of the tag team partner, most likely MJF maybe, considering they seem to be buddies. By the way though, I think Shawn Spears is going to win. Speaking of MJF, we've got MJF next taking on Jungle Boy Jack Perry, as JR loves to call him, and I think they're going to be calling MJF's name as he celebrates a victory, because I think MJF is going to beat Jungle Boy. He's undefeated in AEW, except for one loss, which was a fatal 4-way, and he didn't even get pinned. So I think MJF, he should be getting a championship shot at this point. Following that, we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Chris Statlander. So a lot of these matches have, like, no feud or no build going into it. This is one of them. And the only build that we have seen in the women's division at all is the building up of Britt Baker's character. And I think that will lead Britt Baker to beat Chris Statlander. And how about we continue with some more women's action, as Hikaru Shida is looking to challenge Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship, no disqualification and no count-out matchup. So basically, an Extreme Rules match, or street fight, just call it by one of those. However, I do not think Hikaru Shida is going to win, and yes, you do have to say it like that, because it's the most fun way to say her name. And I think Nyla Rose is going to retain the championship. She hasn't been on Dynamite. Again, no fault of her own, I think. She hasn't been on Dynamite, but I think they still have the idea that she should be built to be a monster on the show, and, like, losing in her second championship defense, I think? Yeah, her second, wouldn't look good for Nyla. So I think Nyla's gonna win, and then she's gonna go on to fight Britt? Maybe? Following that, we're finally getting to the matches with some A, build, and B, hype around them. So, it's time for the Casino Ladder match for the AEW World Championship shot in the future. We've got Darby Allin taking on Colt Cabana, taking on Orange Cassidy, Rey Fenix, maybe after that spot. I'm filming this on Thursday. I want to point that out, because I know that there was that spot with Rey Fenix landing on his head, his neck, and back, and it looked brutal. It looked brutal. Same thing for the Britt Baker thing, by the way. It's Thursday as of recording, so... Anyways, moving on. Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, Rey Fenix, Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and to be announced. Now, I don't think the TBA person's gonna win. You shouldn't have the mystery person immediately win, I think. I think it will be Scorpio Sky, weirdly enough. Darby Allin feels like the really obvious person. Orange Cassidy ain't doing it, no matter how over he is. He's mid-card. Sorry. Colt Cabana, same kind of deal. Mid-carders are typically comedy guys. Kip Sabian's kind of interesting, but again, he doesn't feel like that guy. Frankie Kazarian, wow, he's awesome. He kind of already had a match with Moxley a few weeks ago, and he lost, so it just feels weird. Luchasaurus is amazing, but it's weird to picture him with a championship. Maybe that's just me, but it feels weird. Not that I'm complaining. Again, with all of these superstars, I'm not complaining if they do win. I just don't think they will. Rey Fenix as well is super awesome, but he's a tag team guy with Pentagon Jr. And so yeah, I think that just boils down to Scorpio Sky, who's going to win this. Also, they've been kind of subtly trying to build him up with like video packages and stuff. Just every few weeks, you kind of feel like Scorpio Sky has a moment in the show. And I think that large array of moments will lead to a big moment where he gets to eventually battle for the AEW World Championship. So yeah, I think Scorpio Sky is going to win. Next up, it's AEW's Mike Tyson moment as Cody is set to take on Lance Archer in the tournament final for the inaugural AEW TNT Championship. It feels obvious to say Lance. It feels real obvious to say Lance Archer because he's been built up as this monster. But here's the thing. Cody feels like an AEW TNT champion. I don't know if it's just me. Cody feels like it's his. It just feels like it's his championship. And then maybe he can fight MJF afterwards. Although we just kind of had that feud. But I think Cody will win this somehow against Lance. And then Lance Archer can go on to be even more angry. And then fight everybody. Just everybody. He just fights everybody. So I think that Cody will win the championship. And then, Mike Tyson, he's a babyface, I guess. And he'll lift up Cody's hand. And he'll be presented with the title. And yeah, it'll be kind of cool. Afterwards, it's the Empty Arena match because we haven't gotten enough of those as Matt Hardy teams up with the Elite, which is Omega, Page, Jackson, and Jackson number 2 as they take on the Inner Circle of Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz. And I think that this is going to lead to a victory for the Inner Circle. We still haven't gotten that War Games match, and this feud kind of needed this kind of match, I think, before a War Games stipulation. Because, I don't think a lot of people were really into the War Games match not having a bunch of build. And, I get the argument that they've kind of been feuding the entire freaking Dynamite show. It just didn't feel like there was enough there for a War Games match. And I think this could be that thing. And then Jericho's team, the Inner Circle, could win this matchup because, I don't know. And so the Elite can have to go together along with Matt Hardy, have to be together once again, find, what was making Paige so pissed off, and then they can kind of reunite in order to defeat the Inner Circle in a War Games stipulation later on down the line, because, there's the inner fighting with the Elite anyways happening, with, Paige kind of pissing everybody off, the Jackson brothers kind of annoyed with Omega and Paige as well. It feels like that feud, that team might fall apart during this matchup, and I think the Inner Circle are gonna take advantage of that. And finally, we got the main event of the evening. Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, looking to successfully defend his title against the leader of the Dark Order, Brody Lee. But will he do it? Yes, I think Moxley's going to win. I hate this match for a plethora of reasons. Neither man can lose. This is a neither man can lose situation. And, like, I get the argument that must make for more intriguing television. In my opinion, it doesn't in this case. I'm not really looking forward to the match itself either. It does feel like it needs some sort of hardcore stipulation to go along with it. Like, I would have given this matchup the no DQ, no count out stipulation. And then have Jon Moxley try to fight the odds against Brody Lee's henchmen. I don't know. I think Brody Lee is interesting enough that he should be fighting for the TNT title, not the AEW title. Personally, I would have given that shot to, I don't know, Darby Allin. He seems like he should be reaching that point of, like, basically about to explode in superstardom. I would have given it to Kenny, maybe. I would have given it to Hardy. I would have given it to a bunch of other guys before Brody Lee. And I think that if Brody Lee loses this as well, it also really sucks for the Dark Order. But if Jon Moxley loses, I mean, he's been on a freaking tear. He's been killing everybody. But, like, Brody Lee has been kind of making him look like a bitch these past few weeks. And if Brody Lee beats him, Moxley is gonna just kind of feel like a bitch for a bit. And it's not great. I'm not excited for this one. I think that's why I'm not very excited for this entire show, to be honest. Like, there's some stuff that I'm interested in, but overall, I don't feel nearly as hyped about the show as I have done for previous AEW pay-per-views. So, in the end, though, I think Jon Moxley is going to retain his championship and move on to fight the winner of the ladder match. I think it's Scorpio Sky. I think that's going to be the interim feud before the main feud of MJF for the next pay-per-view, which is, I think, All Out. I don't know. But either way, though, that's going to be the end of this predictions video. What do you guys think is going to happen? Are you guys excited? Let me know. By the way, before I get out of your hair, I wanted to say this. I'm not going to be doing a live stream for this one. I don't have $50 to spend on this show. Not that I'm not excited for it. I'll probably watch it somewhere afterwards. But yeah, it also doesn't really feel like it's worth the $50, which feels mean to say. Because they're all great, and I love AEW, but I'm not excited. So I'm not going to really do a live reactions to this. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the show. Again, let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Who do you think is going to win? And yeah, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day from GrappleNation. Bye.